a resistor in series and parallel and the Joule's law. So according to Joule's law, we already studied the heat produced across a resistor is equal to I square R T, where I is the current passing through the resistor of resistance R and I is the value of current flowing through it for T is the time interval. And from this we can calculate the power consumed by the resistor P equal to the heat produced across the resistor for unit time interval, that is H by T or I square R, or we can also write it as V square by R, or this can also be written as VI. So we already discussed about it. In this class we discussed how to calculate the power and resistance of a electrical bulb and what will happen when the electrical bulbs are connected in series in a circuit or in parallel in a circuit. So what is electrical bulb? So we already observe an electrical bulb in our day-to-day life, that is generally a filament bulb. The structure will be like this. There is a glass chamber in which there will be two straight conductors with a tungsten wire. This is a filament bulb. So when we allow current to pass through this tungsten wire filament will grow according to the heating effect of electrical current. So if we purchase a electrical bulb from a market, so there is something written over the electrical bulb, such as the power. If the power of the given bulb, for example, I am considering a 100-watt bulb, will be given as 100 watt, and the voltage across which this electrical bulb can be operated, or the voltage range can be rated for our household 220 volt. So these are the ratings, and also there is something rating for frequency. For India electric supply, the frequency is taken as 50 Hz because we are using alternating current and the frequency will be 50 Hz. What is 50 Hz? That means 50 cycle of the electrical current per second. So about this we will discuss in later chapter, that is in alternating current. But for today's topic, we only consider these two specifications of an electrical bulb. So for electrical bulb, the power is mentioned on the bulb, and the voltage about which it can be operated, that is mentioned. So from these two given data we can calculate the specified resistance of the electrical bulb, because we know according to the formula power can be written as V square by R. So if in general this can be taken as P naught, or the power given by the manufacturer to the bulb, and this can be taken as V naught, the voltage range given by the manufacturer. So P naught can be written as V naught square by R, or from this we can calculate the resistance of the given bulb will be V naught square by P naught. So this is the resistance of the given electrical bulb that we purchased from an electrical shop. Okay. So if V naught is the voltage range given by the manufacturer and P naught is the operating power consumption of the electrical bulb, then R will be the resistance. But if we operate this bulb which have P naught power and V naught voltage rating across a circuit, if it is a bulb, it is connected across a circuit which provided a potential difference V, and this bulb has specified power P naught and the voltage operation will be V naught. So what will be the power consumption by this bulb if we connect this bulb across a potential difference V? As we know, the resistance of the bulb can be given as V naught square by P naught. So it will remain fixed because we are not changing the bulb. But when we connect this bulb in a potential difference of V, what will be the power consumption? So the power consumption can be calculated as V square by R. Let this be equation 1, this is the equation 2. So using equation 1 and 2, we can calculate the power consumption when the bulb B is connected across a potential difference V will be power consumption V equal to, using equation 1 and 2, we can calculate V square divided by putting R equal to V naught square by P naught. This can be written as power consumed equal to V square by V naught square into P naught. So this is the expression for power consumed by the electrical bulb, where V naught is the applied potential difference. Sorry, V is the applied potential difference and V naught is the potential difference or rating given by the manufacturer, and this is the power consumption by the manufacturer. So if we apply voltage V and there is a rating written over the bulb V naught, but if these two are equal, that means the applied voltage equal to the voltage rating given by the manufacturer, then from this equation 3 we can calculate the power consumption by the bulb will be equal to the power rating given by the manufacturer. So in this case we get the actual power. If we purchase a 100 watt bulb, then the power consumption by the bulb will be equal to 100 watt. When we apply a potential V which is equal to the power rating given by the manufacturer. But in case 2, let this be 1. In case 2, if the applied potential is greater than the potential rating given by the manufacturer, so in this case what will be happen? V will be more than V naught. So power consumption will be greater than the power rating given by the manufacturer. So if the applied potential difference will be greater than the voltage rating given by the manufacturer, then the power consumed by the bulb will be more than the power consumption rating given by the manufacturer. So the bulb will get damaged soon as the power consumption will be more than the power rating given by the manufacturer. This is the maximum capacity for the bulb. If we provide more potential difference, it will consume more power which will damage the bulb. In case 3, if the applied potential is less than the potential rating given by the manufacturer. So in this case, if V is less than V naught, then the power consumption will be less than the power rating given by the manufacturer. So in this case, if we use a 100 watt bulb, the power consumption may be 90 watts or 80 watt or something less than the 100 watt. That means in this case the energy will be consumed less, so there will be energy loss. So the power output will be less than the power input. Okay, so these are the conditions when an electrical bulb is used in a circuit. So you have to remember all these formulas. Now let us talk what will happen if we connect bulbs in series or in parallel combination. So let's consider there are two bulbs. V1 and V2 having power rating. Let this is P01 with potential V0 and this is P02 with same potential difference V0. These are connected in series across a potential drop V. Okay, there are two electrical bulbs V1 and V2 having power rating given as P01 and P02 under same potential rating V0 and V0. These two are connected across a supplied potential difference V in series. Let for this case P01 is greater than P02. That means the power of bulb 1 is greater than power of bulb 2. Okay, so from the given data we can calculate the resistance of both the bulbs. As already we discussed, the resistance of the bulb 1 R1 can be written as V0 square by P01 as the voltage rating is V0 and the power rating is P01. Similarly, the resistance R2 can be written as V0 square P02. So 1 and 2. And as the given condition is the power of first V1 bulb is more than the power of V2 bulb. So from these two relations, we can easily consider that the resistance of R2 is more than resistance of R1. That is the resistance of bulb 2. Resistance of bulb 2 is more than resistance of bulb 1 because P01 is greater than P02. So as P01 is greater than P02, so resistance R2 is greater than R1. Okay, so now if these two bulbs are connected in series, then what will be the power consumption by these two bulbs? When there is a potential difference V is applied across the circuit. So we already discussed in previous lecture that if two resistors are connected in series, then the formula for calculation of power will be how much? P equal to I square R. Because in series I remain constant for all the resistors. So let's, as these two bulbs are connected in series, to So for power calculation for each ball, we have to use this formula. So power consumed by ball 1, P1 can be written as I square R1, and the power consumed by ball P2 can be written as I square R2. Let I be the current flowing through this circuit by the cell or source. So I remain same for both the ball as they are connected in series. So now let us calculate the power for ball 1 consumed by the ball 1. So P1 will be how much? I square in place of R1. You can write this one, so let it be I square R1. And for P2, it will be I square R2. And from equation 1 and 2, as we know that R2 is greater than R1 in equation 3. So if R2 is greater than R1 in equation 3, so from this the power consumption by P1 will be less than power consumption by P2, as R2 is greater than R1. So P2 will be greater than P1 because current flowing both the balls will be same. So this is the power consumption by the ball when they are connected in series. So from this relation, the given relation is what? P01 is greater than P02. That means the power rating of ball 1 is more than power rating of ball 2 according to the manufacturer. But when we connected both in series, the power consumption by ball 2 is more than power consumption by ball 1. That means when we connect two balls of same potential rating but different power rating in series, then the power consumption by the balls which have less power rating will be more than the power consumption by the ball which have more power rating according to this relation, as P01 is more than P02 initially, but now P1 is less than P2. That means the power consumption by the ball 2 which initially have less power rating will be more than the power consumption by ball 1 which have initially more power rating. So in series combination, if potential rating of all the balls are same, then the power consumption of the lower power rating ball will be more than the maximum power rating ball. Okay, clear? So this is important to remember. Okay, so now we have to calculate what is the total power P net for the combination of ball in series. So P net will be how much? P1 plus P2. So we have to calculate P1 plus P2. So what is it? Power 1 plus power 2. So from this we already calculated that is power 1. I square R1 and P2 is I square R2. So from this we can easily calculate that I square into R1 plus R2. We have to calculate now what is I square. So we already know that there is a potential difference V is applied across two balls having resistance. Your R1 and R2 both are connected in series. So the current according to Ohm's law, so the current according to Ohm's law will be how much? I equal to V by R. So this is the you can write I equal to V by R1 plus R2. Okay, let it be equation 6. This will be equation 5. So now using equation 6 and 5, you can calculate the power net. So power net equal to I square. In place of I square, you can write this much. That will be V square divided by R1 plus R2 whole square into R1 plus R2. This will become V square by R1 plus R2. This will be P net. So this is the power net of the combination of two balls when they are in series. And we already know from equation 1 and 2 what is the value of R1 and R2. Now replace the R1 and R2 from equation 1 and 2. Let it be equation 7. So using equation 1 and 2 in 7, we can get P net of the combination equal to V square divided by, this can be written as how much? V naught square by P naught 1 plus V naught square by P naught 2. By rearranging this, we can written as power net will be how much? V square divided by V naught square, and this can be written as 1 by P naught 1 plus 1 by P naught 2. or this can be written as one by P naught 1 plus 1 by P naught 2. Okay, this is power net. Clear? So power net equal to V naught square divided by V square divided by V naught square into 1 by P naught 1 plus 1 by P naught 2. By rearranging this, we can calculate that if from this, if V naught equal to V, that means the power rating of the ball is equal to the power supply across the circuit, then P net equal to how much? 1 by P naught 1 plus 1 by P naught 2, or we can write one by P net equal to 1 by P naught 1 plus 1 by P naught 2. So this is the expression for equivalent power calculation when two balls are connected in series. From this, P net equal to 1 by P naught 1 plus 1 by P naught 2, or this can be written as this 1 by P net equal to 1 by P naught 1 plus 1 by P naught 2, or simply we can write P net equal to P naught 1 P naught 2 divided by P naught 1 plus P naught 2 for two balls. That means the equivalent power is depending upon the power consumed by the each ball. So if in series combination of balls, one ball get fused, then okay, if in series combination of balls one ball get fused, then all balls are out of order. There is no use of other balls. Okay, so this is the calculation for power equivalent in series combination when balls are connected in series. Okay, now talk how to calculate the power consumed by the ball when they are connected in parallel in a given circuit. Okay, now discuss balls are connected in parallel. So let's consider same two balls V1 and V2 having power rating P01 with potential rating V0 and P02 with potential rating V0 connected across a potential difference V. Okay, so from this we already calculate that resistance of ball R1 equal to V0 square by P01 and resistance of ball R2 equal to V0 square by P02, and for the given we already taken that power of 1 is greater than power of 2. This is given. So from equation 1 and 2, as P01 is greater than P02, this implies R2 is greater than R1. Okay, as these two balls are connected in parallel, so for the calculation of power consumption by the each ball, we already discussed in previous class when two resistors are connected in parallel, then the calculation of power can be calculated by using the formula V square by R. As potential drop across both the resistors will remain same, so here the potential difference across both the ball will be V, as they are connected in parallel across the potential source V. So for calculation of power we have to use this formula P equal to V square by R. So this implies power consumption by the ball 1, that let it be P1 when it is connected across a potential difference V will be how much? V square by R1, and similarly for ball 2 it will be V square by R2. Clear? Let it be equation 4. This is equation 5. And as we already know from equation 3, R2 is greater than R1. So from 4 and 5, as R2 is greater than R1, we can easily calculate that P1 is greater than P2. Equation 6, as R2 is greater than R1. Okay. So from this, the given power rating of ball 1 is more than ball 2, and we already here mentioned that the power consumed by ball 1 is more than the power consumed by ball 2. So from these two relations, we conclude that when two balls of different power rating having same potential rating are connected across a potential difference beam in parallel, the power consumed by the ball which have maximum power rating will be more than the power consumed by the ball which have lower power rating. From these two equations you already defined. Okay, it is opposite to that of series combination, because in series the power rating will be more which have less power rating, and the power consumption will be less which have more power rating. But in this case, the power rating of the ball which have more power will be more, and the rating which have less power will be less. Clear? So now how to calculate the equivalent power? So power net about the circuit will be how much? P1 plus P2. So as both the balls are connected in parallel, so we already calculated here P1 and P2. So this can be written as V square by R1 plus V square by R2, or this can be written as V square into 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2, and R1 R2 from equation, let it be equation P net. That will be equation 7. So using 1 and 2 in 7, you can calculate P net equal to V square into, in place of R1 we can add 1 by R1 will be P naught 1 by V naught square plus 1 by R2 will be from equation 2 P naught 2 divided by V naught square, or this can be written as P net equal to V square divided by V naught square into P naught 1 plus P naught 2. Okay, let it be equation 8. So from equation 8, okay, so from equation 8, if the applied potential is equal to the potential rating of the ball, then P net will become how much? P naught 1 plus P naught 2. So this is the formula for calculation of equivalent power when both the balls are connected in parallel. That means in this case, if one ball gets fused, then other ball will remain unaffected, because both net power is independent of all the powers. So in this case, if one ball is get fused, then all other balls remain unaffected. Okay, so these are the formulas and how to calculate power consumption by balls in series and in parallel combination. Okay, so now let us discuss if some points regarding the power consumption by ball or resistors. Okay, so first point, if there is a resistor, if a resistor of resistance R is connected across a potential difference V, then power conjugate equal to formula we can write P equal to V square by R. Okay, let it be equation 1. If the same register is cut into n equal parts, okay, if the same register is cut into n equal parts, then if the register is cut into n equal parts, then the resistance of each resistor will become how much? The R new will become R by N. As if it cut into n equal parts, length of the resistor will convert into 1 by N. So the R new will become R by N. So now the power new will be how much? P new can be written as. The potential will be remain same like this. This is the resistor R, and here is the potential difference V. It is cut into n equal parts. Okay, and we are considering a single portion. This portion of resistor having R by N resistors, which is connected across the potential drop V. Then P new equal to V square by R new, which can be written as V square by R by N. This will be N into V square by R. So P new will become how much? N into P initial, that is equal to P naught. Okay, let this be equation 2. So when a resistor of resistance R is connected across a potential difference V, the power consumption will be this much. If we cut the resistor into n equal parts and considering one part, then the new resistance will become this much. So what is the power consumption by the resistor? It will become n times of the initial part. Clear? Next point. If 10 resistors of equal resistance are connected in series across a potential difference V, here the equal resistance will be R. Okay, 10 resistors of equal resistance R are connected in series across a potential difference V. This is the circuit. So the power calculation P will be how much? V square by R equivalent. That will be how much? V square by N R. As all the resistors are equal resistance are connected in series. Let it be equation 1. Let it this be power in series. Same case, if all are connected in parallel combination. The circuit will be like this. All have resistance R, and this is potential difference is V. So here the power in parallel combination will be how much? Same V square by R equivalent. So here as all the resistors are connected in parallel, so the and all have same resistance R. So R equivalent will be R by N. So P in parallel combination will V square divided by R by N, or this can be written as power in parallel equal to N into V square by R. Let it be equation 2. So from equation 1 and 2 we can calculate the ratio of power in series and power in parallel combination. So from equation 1 and 2, so from equation 1 and 2, P series equal to how much? V square by NR, and P parallel equal to N into V square by R. Now dividing PS by P parallel will be how much? V square by NR divided by N V square by R, which will be 1 by N square equal to PS by P parallel. So from this you can calculate P parallel equal to N square into P series. Okay, for N is what? Here N equal to number of resistors. Okay, so if N number of resistors are connected in parallel, when they are connected in series, the relation between the power calculation for both the combination will be how much? The power in parallel combination will be n square times the power in series combination. You have to remember this relation for further numerical calculations. Okay, so this is all about how to calculate equivalent power for ball in series, for electrical ball connected in parallel, and for resistors in series and parallel, and their relation between parallel combination and series combination. Okay, okay, now discuss what is maximum power transfer theorem. So for this, let's consider a resistance or resistor having resistance R is connected across a cell which have internal resistance small r and EMF E. Okay, so in this circuit there is a cell. Let's see the cell which have internal resistance small r and EMF E, which is connected across the external load resistor of resistance R. Then what will be the condition? Let it I be the current flowing through this circuit. What will be the condition so that this load will consume maximum power, or the power achieved across this load will be maximum? So for this, as there are two resistors, one is internal resistance of the cell and the other one is the external load. So both the resistors are connected in series. So for power calculation, we know we have to put formula which one? I square R. As here I remain constant for both the resistors. So here we can write P equal to I. Here I will be how much? Let this be equation 1. So for I, from Ohm's law, I equal to V by R. V will be how much here? EMF E divided by R. R will be how much? This load resistance capital R and internal resistance small r are both in series. So R equal will be R plus R. So this is the expression for I, equation 2. So now using 2 in 1. P will be how much? E divided by R plus R whole square into R. This is the power consumed by the load resistance R. So P will be maximum. When P will be maximum, in this relation, EMF of the cell is remain constant and the internal resistance of the cell is constant, but the load resistance can be added because we have to take the load resistance. So when power will be maximum, that means here P is a function of external resistance capital R. Okay, so as P is a function of external R, because R can be varied. So P max only when the differentiation of the power with respect to R will be 0. First differential of power equal to 0, then we will get P max. So from equation 3, P max will be how much? D by dr of, in case of power we can write E by R plus R whole square into R must be equal to 0. So from this E is constant, so we can take it out from E square D by dr of R divided by R plus R square must be equal to 0. So from this we can calculate D by dr of R divided by R plus R square equal to 0 by dividing E in the right hand side. So now differentiating this R by R plus R whole square. So what will be the differentiation? We already know here if there is a function like this U by V and we have to differentiate this. So this will be du into V minus V into minus U into dV divided by V square. this is the formula. So here r and r plus r square can be written as differentiation of r with respect to r will be how much? 1 into r plus r square minus r into differentiation of r plus r by the chain rule it will be 2 into r plus r. Clear? And again r plus r will be differentiation of 1 and this will be 0 whole divided by r plus r square again square that will be 4 equal to 0. So by cross multiplying this, from this we will get r plus r whole square minus 2r into r plus r equal to 0. So this will be opening this r square plus r square plus 2r into r minus 2r square minus 2r into r equal to 0. So cancelling this, it will become minus r square plus r square equal to 0, or this can be written as r square equal to r square, or from this we can write r equal to r. Okay, so this is the relation where the power consumed by the load will be maximum. So for maximum power, the resistance of load must be equal to the internal resistance of the cell. This is the relation for maximum power consumption, and this is known as maximum power theorem. Clear? So now how to calculate the efficiency of one device? So efficiency will be how much? If you denoted by eta, this will be the total output divided by total input. So how much input we are providing to the device, and the device how much output is given. The ratio is known as efficiency of that device. Here total output means what? Output power and input power. So how much power we providing, or how much energy we are providing, and how much energy or power is given to us in return. That is known as efficiency of any device. For example, we are using a 100-watt bulb, or we are supplying it 100-watt power, but is providing us 90 watt. Then that is the output 90 watt, and 100 watt is the input. So the ratio will give us the efficiency. And in practical use, nothing have 100% efficiency. That means the efficiency or the output and the input will never equal. For ideal condition, we can take the output power equal to input power. Clear? So this is the formula for calculation of electrical efficiency, and it will be calculated in percentage term. So you have to multiply by 100%. Okay. So now, how to calculate the electrical units, or the how much unit we are using in our household when we are using some electrical appliances? Because there is a electrical meter which measures how much power or how much electrical energy we consume in our day-to-day life, and after the month we have to pay the bill. So how the unit, or how much unit we are consuming? So how to calculate the number of units? So the number of units will be how much? The total watt or the total power we are consuming into the total hour for which we are consuming the power divided by 1000. This is the formula for calculation of number of units. Okay, if we are using 600 watt for 3 hours, then we have to put here 600 watt into 3 hours divided by 1000. Okay, this will be the number of units, and after calculating the number of units, we have to multiply it with the price. If per unit price will be 1 rupees, if per unit price will be 1 rupees, by calculating the number of units, we have to multiply this number of units with the price. Okay, so from this you can calculate per unit rupees is this much and total number of units is this much. So by multiplying total number of unit with the price per unit, we will get the total value of the consumption. Here we can also mention that 1 unit will be mentioned as 1 kilowatt hour. Okay, what is the value of 1 unit? That is 1 kilowatt hour. 1 unit will be, if we consume 1 kilowatt power for 1 hour, that will be equivalent to 1 unit. Okay. So now discuss what is the Q square. So here we have to remember a Q square is a resistor having low melting point and high resistivity. It's made of an alloy of lead and tin. It always used in series across an electrical in the subsystem. Okay, this is all about the electrical fuse where we used in our electrical circuit. Okay, there you have to remember another point which is known as a heater wire. So in case of heater wire, we have high resistivity and high melting point. Okay, so we have to remember that the heater wire have high resistivity and high melting point, but the fuse wire have low melting point and high resistivity. Okay, so this is all about fuse wire and heater wire. And this is all about your thermal effect of electrical current. Okay, there is another short practical unit we use for the commercial purpose of measurement of electrical power, that is, okay, so this is all about your thermal effect of electrical current. And today we discuss how to calculate the power consumed by electrical bulbs connected in series and in parallel. Then how to calculate the unit, electrical unit we consume in our day-to-day life, and how the fuse wire work in a circuit. So as we consider the unit, 1 unit for electrical power consumption is equal 1 kilowatt hour, and this is also known as the Brodel unit, that is the commercial unit for the calculation of electrical power units. Okay, so thanks for today's lecture, and in next class we will discuss some numericals about this topic. Okay, thank you.